Thank you very much, Kathy. We start here tonight. South Africa's third largest telecoms firm, Telkom, has seen an expansion in half-year earnings despite a challenging trading and economic environment. The telecoms operator says revenue was flat at just over 21 billion rands, while profit rose to 1.3 billion rands. The group has benefited from lower finance cost controls and a drop in foreign exchange losses. Telkom says it has grown its mobile subscriber base by almost a fifth in this half year to end September, helping to drive revenue growth in this business of a high base. Joining us is Sipho Maseko, Group CEO at Telkom. Sipho, you continue to eat everyone's lunch when it comes to mobile data. A great performance there for the group.
Yeah, the team has done well. I mean, it's been a challenging time. Last year, we saw phenomenal growth in data traffic, so the base is quite high. We continue to grow off that base. I think it's largely testament to two things: the distribution and the pricing. The pricing has been very good, and I think it's been responsive to some of the challenges that consumers have been facing with regards to the weak economy, COVID impact, and I think the team has been quite smart in how they've deployed the right tariff plans into the market.
Let's talk about the lower consumer spending, how it's impacted on the group. I see that, when it comes to BCX, your subsidiary, there has been some work that is in the pipeline, and it has not performed as anticipated.
No, indeed. Actually, BCX has had a torrid time, and I really feel for that team. Why do I say so? They've operated in a weak economy for a while, and they are right at the edge of GDP. So they service retailers, mining houses, banks, pharmaceutical companies. And with the hard lockdown that we went through last year, that had a massive impact in terms of all the IT investment that was planned. Companies have remained very tentative. The uprisings in KZN and Gauteng were not helpful in terms of further fostering that crisis of confidence in terms of investment. And last but not least, as companies defer spend and consumers come under pressure, BCX had to sort of contend with that. But I always look at Xolani management response, right? The environment will be what it is, but the management team has really looked to reduce costs, both OPEX and direct expenses, so that they can offset the negative impact. I think there's a very decent pipeline of projects which were affected by the shortages of chipsets around the world. I mean, we have at least about R1 billion of back orders that we could not be able to meet our customer expectations. So it's been a tough time for them, but they've been trying, and it's their fortitude that I really have been appreciating over the last couple of months.
Let's talk about the sort of equity partner that you are looking for that IT business, as you've mentioned today in many in your financial results.
So what we're looking for is an equity partner who will bring what we would call economies of skill and scale. I'll give you an example. There's a niche area called cybersecurity. There's been a lot of cybersecurity incidents. Our cyber team has been very busy, but there are more incidents than the team is able to meet, which so much so that we actually then end up not investing enough in R&D and further development of the skill set of those people. So you need to partner with a global IT player who will be able to bring the right economies of skill and scale, as I've indicated, because we actually service almost all of the banks. We service almost all the retailers, the pharmaceutical chains, and we need to be able to bring all of that skill set into their environment so that they can be competitive relative to their peer group. So we're looking at strategic equity partners, therefore, who will bring a lot of capability and skill so that we can be able to provide the right solutions for our big clients who require those solutions on an urgent basis.
Sipho, let's move on to this one. Some interesting developments that we saw yesterday. And correct me if I'm wrong, Telkom did make some advances towards, an interest in buying Cell C some time back, if I'm not mistaken. But now there are reports of overtures, being made by MTN to buy Telkom. I know you can't tell me much, tell us much, but has this been discussed by the board at all? This does seem like, you have something that the market wants, and the market wants desperately.
Yeah, I mean, I also saw those reports, Xolani. Safe to say that as the chief executive of the company, I'm not at this moment evaluating any offer or looking at any offer. That's not what is happening at the moment. Unfortunately, I can't speak for the party that is said to have sent the letter. You'll have to ask them directly if they did send me the letter. But I don't have a letter that I'm looking at to evaluate if I should do a transaction or not.
And if I can just keep to that line, there was an announcement that you'll be sharing some roaming, capacity with MTN. So it doesn't seem far-fetched that you would be able to work, together as a company to take over the African continent.
Well, I mean, MTN is far larger than us. It's a very successful company. We respect it a lot. We managed to do a very, very small transaction here in terms of roaming. The roaming arrangement has given us a massive opportunity, actually, because essentially, if you're a Telkom subscriber, you have access to 3 networks. So you get 3 for the price of 1, as it were. That's going well. I mean, if this particular arrangement one day progresses to something bigger and better, great. But for now, there's nothing more to it than what we have done as per the roaming agreement.
Sipho, let's move on to this last issue now. On Thursday, Finance Minister Nokotongwana will be tabling the medium-term budget policy statement. What issues would you like to hear about and being tackled concerning the economy, and more importantly, on the issue of spectrum? And particularly, since, we are on load shedding, we see a lot of network, particularly from Telkom, actually going down, when it comes during the time of load shedding. That seems to be the blackouts hurting Telkom and its customers.
Yeah, so I mean, the blackouts are so pervasive. And I guess it's less about them being pervasive, but it's more them being unpredictable. If we were to have the right schedules and the right forecast, we can prepare for them, like many people. And I think it's the unpredictability and randomness that's the challenge. As for the Minister of Finance, it will be his maiden medium-term budget speech. So we really wish him well. I mean, the real big challenge here is how do we mobilize, especially local capital, to invest? Not just business, right? Even small businesses, even individuals. How do you encourage somebody who's got a home to have their bill and to think that actually they can invest and add a bedroom or 2, or add a wall, or modernize their kitchen? All of that is investment. And how do we make sure that we create the right environment for them to be able to do that? Because everybody must have confidence in the economy. And when you have confidence in the economy, what do? You spend, you invest. You might invest in, getting a new kitchen, or you might invest in expanding your factory. We've just had elections in the last couple of days. I think they went very, very well. And I think the politicians overall got a very loud message in terms of what people are expecting. And we hope that this medium-term budget speech will also get to reflect the tone of that came out of the elections. And more importantly, business must stand ready to support and put shoulder to the wheel as well in support of government investment plans. So we wish him all the best on his maiden MTBPS speech.
Mr. Sipho Maseko, the Group Telkom Chief Executive Officer, thank you very much for your time.